In this video, I'm going to be attempting to survive 100 days in the mountains in hardcore Minecraft. The goal in this video is to turn this boring and empty area into a thriving village. Oh, and to not die as well. But without further ado, let's get started, and I hope you enjoy. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. We are back with another 100 days in hardcore Minecraft. And it looks like we've actually spawned in quite a nice area. I did notice we've got this stone structure here, which has got iron, which is nice. No idea what that is. It looks like a pot, some lapis, but before we get too excited and start looking around everywhere, we need to get the basics done. We need to get our basic survival gear. I cannot afford to get sidetracked because I do tend to forget that I'm playing hardcore Minecraft. So obviously, first things first is we need to get some tools. Let's start by making an axe and of course a nice little pickaxe. That way we can chop down trees with pure efficiency, because I have cheated again slightly with a tree chopping mod, but it just makes life a lot easier and it makes Minecraft for me a lot more enjoyable. Let's not forget, we need to get stone as soon as possible so we can upgrade the tools and get iron, which I can see there's a piece down there, there's another piece over there, so we can get ourselves an iron pickaxe fairly quickly. Seems to be a lot of vegetation, a lot of livestock around here, which of course we are going to harvest everything we see in sight for our benefit. But without further ado, let's acquire our first piece of iron and we can go back down into this little cave here and get ourselves a second piece of iron, and a third and a fourth. But I've got to be very careful and keep my eyes peeled for any hostile enemies or creatures, whatever you would like to call them. We've got 6 pieces of iron already. Let's just have a quick scout around, see if I can spot any more without getting myself into immediate danger. No, but there is coal. Let's not forget the coal. Currently it's the height of summer in the UK where I'm from. My PC it's going into absolute hyper mode at the moment. It's literally screaming at me. It sounds like it's begging for air, which is probably not good. I should probably address that as soon as possible before my PC either blows up and blows my legs off, or just stops working in general. Let's quickly make ourselves a torch so we can actually see. But really, oh, I can hear a skeleton. Let's quickly evacuate before we get into trouble. I've already forgotten which way I came. It was up here. But yeah, really, the main objective early on is just to get ourselves safe so that we can survive and sleep through the night and just avoid any danger. And just like that, wow, that was quick. We have got our first furnace. Let's see if there's any animals I can pick off in the meantime, just to get a little bit of food going. There is a cow, and I'm very sorry to do this to you, my friend, but it's either you or me. You will not be forgotten, I promise. Lots of dogs. Maybe we can tame a couple of them. I also do need to find an area, a nice pretty area we can build in, that we can call home. I don't want to stay here for too long. Just want to get the essentials and move on. But I do see another cow over here. Again, I'm sorry, my friend, but I need to eat. Whoa. That was close. There's a skeleton down there as well. That could have been me restarting already. Right, let's take our iron, and of course our furnace, and the crafting table, and we'll move on from this area. We've got a little bit of food. Well, we've got 1 steak apparently. But we'll move on from this area. Try find somewhere a little bit more suitable that we can base up in. See a couple sheep, which is a good sign. Let's quickly make a stone axe so we can slaughter them a little bit faster. We don't want them to suffer. Can I make... Oh, I can, out of andesite. Yeah, I'm actually... I would say I'm an experienced noob. So I know the basics and a little bit more than the basics. There's a lot of things I actually don't know about Minecraft. And I'm out of energy already. I need to start conserving my energy. But we need to get wool, get some food along the way so we can sleep, and just avoid any monsters only in early game, just so that It minimises our risk of, you know, having to restart the episode. Pick up a little bit of coal on the way. But yeah, my first objective for the first 10 days is going to be getting a Hope Diamond, get ourselves diamond armour, just get the boring stuff out of the way so that we're secure and we can get on with the fun stuff like building and doing nice big projects. But I do want to just take a second for all of you and appreciate all the support you've been giving me on my last video. It's come out of nowhere. I actually kind of give up hope with uploading with YouTube, and all of a sudden I started getting notifications saying I was getting comments, and I looked and I had 9,000 views on the last 100 days we did. So what I'm trying to say is thank you all for watching that video. Hopefully I can see more of you around. But moving on, this area does look quite nice, to be fair. There's a lot of life. We don't want to drain all of the livestock. We need to keep some of them around, you know, for when we make farms, just for a little bit of company. But this area, it looks quite nice. I want to stay up high, just so we can scope out. Also, while we're doing this in the background, I want to start cooking some food up, because I'm burning through energy like no tomorrow. And while we're waiting for that to cook, we can go ahead and make the very first bed of this episode. Look at that. Got a bed, so when it gets dark, we can go straight to sleep and carry on first thing in the morning. Look at that view. The sunset over there is looking very nice, I must say. And here we are, sleeping away for the very first time in this 100 days. Oh, look at that. I've spotted a lot of iron up there, which is handy. Let's get this other food cooking in the background. Collect all these pieces of iron, and then I can go up and scout out the area just to see what we're looking at. But so far, it looks like quite a nice area to build on. That's the good thing about being in the mountains, is that with the Terraforming mod, there's a lot of resources that's just easily accessible. Right, looks like we've reached the summit, and looking around in the area, it does look like there is some nice potential land to build on. I could definitely see us building a base here. And there is a cliff. It doesn't just go straight down to the shoreline into the water. It drops off quite high, which I think can give quite a nice aesthetic. Just gonna have a quick peek over the other side, see if there's anything useful. Look at that, just from that little adventure up to the top there, we've got ourselves 25 iron. There's going to be plenty for us to get our tools ready to go down into the mines and get diamonds. But yeah, I'll show you what I mean by the cliff over here. It's quite a high drop actually. We could build along the coast here. Oh, that would look nice. Very nice and scenic. Obviously there's a lot of work to cut out and a lot of things that we've got to do first before we start thinking about building and transforming the area. But considering it's not even been a full 48 hours yet, we've made some decent, humble progress. We've got a nice bit of food going. There's plenty of livestock around, lots of different types of wood. This is looking like the ideal area. We can finally throw away these pieces, rubbish tools, and start making iron tools. Pickaxe, an axe. We'll make a shovel as well. I'm not really too fussed about a sword. Axes do the trick. I think it'd probably be a good idea just to stick some torches around the area, because when we go mining, we might come up in the middle of the night and, you know, loads of skeletons, zombies, creepers, all the nasty things might be around. And that is something we definitely do not want. I'm open to guests, but not ones that, you know, eat flesh, blow things up, and shoot arrows at me. It's not my type of party. And if you are wondering why I sound like blocked up, because I suffer with extreme hay fever. For some, it's not that bad, but for myself, it's very full on. It's quite intense. Just gonna make a couple spare. Well, I suppose we only need to make one spare iron pickaxe because we're bound to find some more when we go down into the mines. And we can start making nice pieces of armor. Oh, I've done it again. I do this every time I play Minecraft. I've made 2 chest plates. I'm always clicking shift, that's why I'm always holding shift. I'm gonna have to learn my lesson the hard way there. That's my own fault. Anyway, we've got a chest plate and a helmet. which is a good start to go into the mines with. We've got a few materials to take with us. Obviously, we've got all of our tools. We've got 17 pieces of meat, sticks, wood, coal. I think we just need to brave it and start mining. I'm going to spare you guys with most of the boring parts of mining. I'm just going to, jump in when I find things that are actually useful or anything a bit entertaining, which won't be much other than diamonds. I'll see you very soon, chickens. I promise. Don't go too far without me. But that is a downside to being in the mountain area. You've got to mine very far down to get down to diamond level. We've got to go down to like another 150 blocks just to get on diamond level. Okay, we finally hit deep slate level. It took us time, but we're finally there. We've still got a long ways to go yet, but it's all part of the journey. Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither is this Minecraft world. Well, you could technically build a good Minecraft world in a human day, but not in a Minecraft day. You get the gist of what I'm trying to say. I'm glad that we've run into a little bit of iron, because we are on to the second pickaxe already, so I did underestimate how many pickaxes I would need. I also would feel a little bit more comfortable knowing that I've got full iron armor before I take on any mobs. You never know, Herobrine might be waiting around the corner as well, so I want to make sure that I'm prepared. Oh, would you look at that? At minus 13, minus 14, we've run into diamonds already. Now that has got to be rare. I don't know if because we're in the mountain biome, and there's a lot of diamonds. I don't know whether it's because we're in the mountain biome that they might be more common at like higher levels, but I was thinking I'm going to have to go down to minus 50. And this is a big vein of diamonds. The biggest vein I've ever come into. How many diamonds is that? 12 diamonds. That's a lot of diamonds already. Straight away, I'm going to make a diamond pickaxe. Remember not to shift click this time. But that is an unbelievable start. But I don't really want to be leaving the mine until I come back up with a full set of diamond gear and plenty of diamonds to make more tools. And also we may as well get obsidian down here if we can. Saves us having to go all the way back up and down. And we need enchantments. And it looks like we've run into the first cave, and it's near the deep dark. I don't really want to go down there with like no protection, so I'm gonna divert the path a little bit just for now until I feel a little bit more safe. But we know that there's a cave opening down there. We've bumped into another cave and I can see a diamond straight away, so I'm gonna have to jump down because, diamonds are pretty rare in this game. But we'll do this slowly and steadily. If we see something in here that we don't like, we need a quick escape route and a safe one. Right, let's quickly block this off for a minute. It's a big opening that way. And light it up down here. But we've got at least 2 diamonds. 3. At least 3. 4. Right, and that brings our total up to 14 diamonds already, which is pretty good. It's very good, actually. But what I want to do is, because I do have a habit of getting lost, I want to make it very identifiable. Is that a word? Identifiable where we came from, so I don't get lost. I'm going to make a diamond chest plate, a diamond axe. That leaves us with 3 spare diamonds. Let's quickly have a little peek around here. What is around here? I've a lot of these things. I don't know what they're called, but I know that they're scary. They make noises, scary noises. I don't want to be going down there. Not yet, at least. That's a very big lava pit with a weird pillar. I quickly want to check this big opening over here. Is this an ancient city? Are they rare? I've never seen one before. It looks like a city. Quite ancient. I know they're very dangerous. Well, that's a surprising turn. I definitely have not got the means to be exploring that anytime soon. But it's nice to know that it's here. I'm going to quickly record my coordinates so we can come back to this in the future. I don't really know how I'm going to navigate this now, because if I dig this way, it's going to take me into the ancient city. I'm pretty sure that way as well. That way will as well. And this way, I think it's towards the lava pit. But hey ho, I'm going to continue digging, because I've got a few more diamonds to collect. Just like that, we've bumped into some more. But there's more of this. I think it's called Skulk. But don't quote me on that. I'm just going to call it this weird, scary block. It's more of this scary block here. Which, I don't think is a good... Wow. That could have ended badly. Very badly, actually. At least we got a few more diamonds. So my theory was correct. We've got the big lava pool that way. I think what's best is to mark this area out so we know which way it is to the ancient city. Maybe try dig somewhere else, because I don't want to keep bumping into scary areas. Maybe if I just dig on the opposite side straight down. It's probably going to take us to somewhere equally as dangerous, but I haven't got too much of a choice at the moment. And a lot of you do ask for what mods I have downloaded, especially this day counter one. What I'll do is I'll put all of them in the description so you can download them yourself. Yeah, more skulk. We have got a bit of gold though. We'll take that. One thing I think I remember, that I think it's correct, is that mobs don't spawn in the deep dark. I don't know if this area counts, but fingers crossed that means regular mobs are just, you know, knocking about, ready to jump me. Got to be very careful here. Very careful. I don't want to lose any of the diamonds to lava, but I also don't want to lose my life. That looks like the entrance to the deep dark over there. Or the ancient city, sorry. Let's not lose this diamond, please. Thank you. But we are very close to the level which I think diamond is best found on, which is minus 54. We're currently standing on 10 diamonds. We need 16 more to finish off the armor set, but I do want probably like an extra 20 spare so we can take it up with us to the base just in case our tools break. Something scary's happening. I don't like it. Right, let's get out of there. Why did that happen? What's going on? Let's not go in that direction. Clearly something over there doesn't want me to, so I'm not going to. Okay, that is terrifyingly creepy, but also really cool, but mostly scary. Okay, ladies and gents, I've been mining away for quite some time down here now. I've got 25 diamonds, which I think is more than enough, because we need 16 diamonds to complete this set for the diamond armor. And that leaves us with some spare diamonds as well. I'm going to make my way back up to the surface and we can actually crack on with the fun part of Minecraft. Creating somewhere to live. A nice, beautiful, scenic home. I was going to go for more diamonds, but I heard a really creepy noise and it scared me to death, so I just run off. But I am quite proud of the progress we made. I still need to get an enchantment table. So I will need to come back down here at some point with some water to get some obsidian. Because I just want to get a few enchants on some of my tools. Just to like speed up the process of everything, really. Got to be really careful where I'm stepping around here. I don't want to end up falling into a pit of lava and just, you know, resetting all the progress that we made. Finally, we have returned to the surface. It looks like we've got a couple hours of daylight before we have to sleep the night away. I'm going to spend some time just packing away the items I've collected, all the materials, just organising the area a little bit. What I really need to do is get a few water buckets so I could just plonk them up here and get rid of all the grass. We can get lots of seeds for a farm going, and it just clears the area up a lot as well. First things first, let's finish making our diamond armor set. And just like that, on day 4, we've got full diamond armor, we've got diamond tools, we've even got 9 diamond spare, which we can use in the future to enchant a nice fresh diamond pickaxe, a diamond axe, that sort of thing. But the plan is, I'm going to sleep this night away, and then when we wake up in the morning, it's just going to go straight down to the forest, get as much wood as possible. Okay friends, so I've chopped a fair amount of trees, and that's left us with 1, 2, 3, 4 stacks of spruce logs, and we've got 2 stacks of oak log, nearly a stack of birch. But I did spot something down here that really piqued my interest when I was, you know, chopping away for some good wood. I noticed there's like an underground like sort of base there under the water. So we're definitely going to need to check that out. And there is a shipwreck over there which we can check out. But for now, I can't get too sidetracked. As much as I would love to go down there and find out what that is right now, we've got other more important things that we need to do. I think what is really important that I need to do for the agenda is getting rid of all of this grass here. Just because at the moment it looks really untidy, it's like really bushy, and I can't be productive in this environment. So I'm going to make a couple buckets. I'm going to try and source some water without having to jump off the cliff edge. Hopefully there might be some down there or a better pathway. Really hoping that there's water at the end of this forest, because going up and down that cliffside is going to be a real pain. Well, it doesn't look like there's water down here, but this does look like a really cool area. A really nice, humble, secluded area. We could definitely build something here in the future. But I guess our only option is to jump off that huge cliff, get 2 buckets of water, and mine our way back up. Well, here goes nothing. We survived. I'm just looking down here, and here a drown. Be gone with you. It does look really cool. I haven't got the facilities to go down there. I will drown. Let's get our water buckets, get what we come for, and then just go straight back up. We're not taking any risks. We've emerged back at the top. It's good to be back. I've missed you, my friend. But what I'm going to quickly do is I'm going to set up a little infinite water source so we don't have to jump off the side of the cliff and build up every 5 minutes. We'll keep it nice and safe, tucked away over here. Brilliant. Now we can start clearing up all this grass, get loads of seeds. Look at this. We've already made some nice progress, and it's not even taking me long at all. Just need to clear up this little area here. Sorry, cow, you're going to be pushed by the water a little bit here. But it's for the greater good, I promise. You must hate me. I'm sorry, friend. I'm just making the area nice and homely for us all. You will appreciate it once it's done. I promise. Wait, no! 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 Oh, thank God. Oh, I was worried then. I was worried. No! No! What have I done? No. Rest in peace, friend. Gone, but never forgotten. I need to start lighting the area back up, because I've destroyed a lot of my torches during that process. Just looking at like a nice quick glance from up here, the area is starting to look a lot better, a lot more open, which gives us a chance to terraform the land so we can actually start building good structures around the area. My main focus is going to be like around the cliff edge area. We get a nice scenic view of all the biomes. We've got a snow biome over there, got a nice beach over there as well. Yeah, I'm very happy with how the area is shaping out to be, but the big important task now is I need to terraform this area. I'm going to make a diamond shovel, and I'm really going to have to put in a big shift of work to make this area look really nice. So you guys get to enjoy a nice short time lapse while I probably spend the next 2 hours of my life digging dirt in a video game. Okay, so we're finally done with the terraforming. I'm happy with the progress that I've made. You've seen all the little additions I've done. I will probably add some more in the future. Like I want to make the cliff edge a lot more like an actual cliff edge. What's that down there? It's a drown. But what I want to do next and what's on the agenda is I want to build a staircase starting from down here and then elevating up onto like the sort of second platform. What I'm thinking is like an extended staircase here, and then it curves in into the side of this sort of mini cliff that I've built. But I'm going to sleep the night away so we can get a fresh start and crack on in the morning. Just going to start by building sort of the layout. Doesn't mean I'm going to use this texture, but we need to get the layout of it sorted so then we can just go off of that. There's a moth in my room. Go away. See, now I'm looking at it. I don't know if I want to use a staircase or like use slabs instead of actual stairs. I'm going to knock this down and crack on with the slab, see what that looks like. Okay, I've had a thought. I tried out the slab staircase and it just wasn't looking good at all. I thought instead of making an exterior staircase, we can actually dig into the side of the cliff and have a staircase going up that way. And that way we can make a sort of like a path joining on into here, and we can add some exterior decoration. I think that's going to look nice. What I'm going to do is I'm going to crack on and try and get a little staircase built in here, and I'll come back to you when I've got something that I'm happy with. I thought I'd update you because I've got a little bit overkill with this staircase. I'm now turning it into some sort of building that inside the building it has a staircase leading to the lower area of our base area. But I will crack on. I'm going to get some things done with this. I'm just going to build a little base, nothing extravagant, nothing major. I may provide you with a little update along the way if I come up with any significant ideas, but if I don't, I'll show you the finished product and we'll see if I'm happy with it or not. So this, ladies and gentlemen, is the style I'm going for. I've used spruce logs as the pillars, and as you can see, I've used like stone brick for the bottom layer of the walls, and the roof is sort of my what's the word? It's my forte, my cliche. I've gone with deep slate stairs and some spruce stairs, but I'm really liking how this is shaping up. Obviously, I've still got a lot of decoration I've got to do for the building. I've got to work out what sort of style of windows I'm going to do, that sort of thing. I'm going to crack on and get the rest of this finished. Once I've finished all the walls and I've finished all the holes in the roof and that sort of thing, then I'll come back and we can start decorating the exterior. Okay, I think I'm just about done with all the basics. I've built some walls and windows. It's nothing amazing, but I just like how unusual it is. There's no real symmetry to it apart from this side and that side, and sort of these two fence post windows at the back. But I like how random it is. It's not meant to look perfect. I sort of like the medieval, nostalgic sort of looks, but now I'm going to be starting to decorate the exterior of this building. Just going to do sort of your basic plonking some barrels around, adding some buttons and all that sort of thing. I do need to smelt some more stone because I've run out of smooth stone, and I need food. But for now I can survive on these apples, not for long though. Oh, I already had some stone smelted up in these furnaces. That's a bonus. But yeah, I'm just going to plonk barrels around everywhere. I can remove some and add some if it looks too much. Like, that's a bit overkill. I may add just a barrel here and a barrel there. And we can add like fences going up. Yeah, I think that looks quite nice. And then what, maybe one in the middle? No, it's a bit overkill. We could even leave it like that for the moment. Like here, we'll add some buttons on either one of these. And then maybe some stone brick walls going up. Bonker barrel here. Yeah, I'll tell you what we could do with is some spruce trapdoors. And then we could place like a lantern on top of that. But yeah, you get the gist. I'm going to go around just add some decorations. Again, nothing too symmetrical, just some random things plonked down. Because if we think of something in the future that we want to add, we could just go and do it. That's the beauty of Minecraft. But I'm going to get this done, and I'll come back to you when it's all finished, and we can think about what we want to build next. See, that's the thing I love about Minecraft. That was just meant to be a simple staircase separating two areas, and I've ended up turning it into a building, and I'm decorating the whole thing. Yeah, I'm quite happy on how this looks actually. Just finished decorating, and I think this looks quite nice considering it is just a staircase. It's got no purpose to the building, and we can always add and extend it in the future if we want to. But I'm really happy with how that's gone. But as much as building that has been fun, I do need to go out and get myself some food, because it looks like I've harvested all the livestock in this area and they're not returning anytime soon. This mossy stone could actually be very useful for decorating some builds, adding a little bit of texture, so I will take this with me. And after that little food journey, we haven't returned with much, but it's enough to keep us ticking. And it did actually fund my next idea of what we're going to be doing. I mentioned that I wanted to put some crop areas in down there, so I'm going to wait for this food to cook, and then we can start planting the farm areas so we can grow wheat, so we have an infinite source of food. I expanded the grass patch over here just a little bit so we can fit in a few extra crops. But I was just thinking, it's crazy to think that we're now in day 21, which is 1/5 of the way through the challenge already. And I think we've made some pretty good progress considering We've got full diamond armor, full diamond tools. We've built a structure already. We've terraformed, and we're about to start doing some farming. But anyway, let's crack on. I want to make an infinite water source, so I don't have to keep traveling to and from the top of the cliff. And I cannot really remember how far water sources can travel. If I can like try hide it under the cliff as well, that'll make it look a lot tidier. We'll fill these in and start hoeing the grass, and we'll see how far, what sort of range that actually gives us. Hoping that it covers most of the area, so it looks a little bit more aesthetic, and I don't have to dig loads of holes in the area. A lot of the comments on my last video were you guys saying that you quite enjoy the slow pace of Minecraft videos. I wonder if that's the case for a lot of you. If you prefer the slow pace, let me know down below. Or if you like a mix of both with a little bit of editing but not over editing, then also comment below. But just comment what your thoughts are and how I can improve, because I'm always open to a little bit of criticism or feedback, just so I can improve the quality of the video for the people watching. That's all the water sources filled. I need to make a hoe so we can start turning this area into a crop farm. Now the question is, that's the question answered. I don't have any iron, so I'm just gonna have to make a few stone hoes. I've made 3 sorry, I couldn't get my words out then. I've made 3 to be exact. I have a feeling we're gonna need to place a couple sort of in this radius, because I think it reaches 4 blocks in all directions. I'm not certain on that. That's hole number 1 down. We're going through these holes faster than I do in real life. In fact, a lot faster. See, what I did then was I made a joke, and I realised it's actually not funny. At least I tried. Yeah, so it looks like my theory was correct. Now I'm gonna have to place in a couple more water sources around. Not too many though, which is good. My buckets are in the chest. I always do this. I think we've pretty much got coverage on most areas apart from this one patch here, unless it will reach 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, it won't, so we'll just remove that one. It wasn't important anyway. But now we can get our seeds out and start planting away. The quicker we do this, the quicker we have a reliable source of food. I don't really enjoy slaughtering cows too much. Chickens, on the other hand, I don't really mind. They're just loud and annoying, and they pump eggs out everywhere. If you watched my last video on the island, I don't even know if I showcased how many eggs I actually had in chests from the chicken farm. My hay fever bad. My hay fever's so bad that even when I'm planting in Minecraft, it's making me need to sneeze. We didn't quite have enough to fill up the whole area, but what I'm going to do is, while I'm waiting for these to grow so we can get more seeds, I'm going to do some boring, bit of mining just to get some more cobblestone, some iron, that sort of thing, because I'm going to need the resources in the future. So I'll get that done while we're waiting for that to grow away. And hopefully by the time I come back up, we've got a few crops grown, so we can get more seeds, we can get some wheat, we can eat, that sort of thing. But I'll catch you guys in a moment. Okay, so I'm thinking what's next for me on the agenda is I want to build sort of like a medieval watchtower. And I want to build it in this area down here. And for that, I'm going to be using stone brick as the actual the tower vibe. Good thing I've got a lot of stone smelted ready to go. What I'm thinking is for the core main 4 walls of the tower, just going to be like 3 wide, and then if we go out 1 and then 3 again, in 1, and then 3 again like that, go in again, 3, bang, just like that. Is that all symmetrical? Yeah. We can thicken the base up afterwards, but I just want to build up quite high with this shape just to get the main tower vibe going. Once we've actually got the main structure of the tower, like I said, we can extend the bottom, add some texture in and that sort of thing, make it look more towery. So I'm gonna probably build up about maybe 15 to 20 blocks, and once that's done, we can start decorating the actual tower. What we'll do is around the base we'll just do some like random stuff like this, just to make it so it's not so square and horrible. I know adding stuff like slabs and stairs just to make sure it flows correctly. But really it's just adding random things and making sure it looks nice. If it don't look nice, you can get rid of it. But if it looks nice, you can just keep it. I knew this would come in handy. I've got the mossy stone bricks and cobblestone that we discovered just through the forest here on that little stone mound that we can add in to add texture to the tower. And really it's just the same again as just removing random blocks, making sure there's no real pattern to it when you're adding texture. And we'll just fill it in with like cobblestone and tuff and all that sort of thing, all different types of rock. And what I was thinking is we can add in like slabs, wooden slabs around the outskirts to give it sort of a better of a look, better feel as well. Just got to have a play around with the whole thing. Let's see what it's looking like so far. Just sort of this vibe, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to crack on with this tower, get it all polished out, and once I'm happy with the design, I'll come back to you with the finished product and we'll go from there. Okay, so quickly, this is future me. I just wanted to let you know that I recorded about 10 minutes worth of footage and it corrupted. It was just all laggy and horrible. So we have finished the tower. I can't look around because I've done a few more things that I don't want to spoil, which we will see just after I give you this update. We've done the tower, and what I was going to do next is start terraforming some land behind me to clear out some space for more crops. So you will see that now, but I just wanted to update you because unfortunately I lost 10 minutes of footage. But enjoy. I've just about finished terraforming and putting loads and loads of seeds in. You can't see the top layers because it's a bit too high, but I'm loving the way that this is shaping up now, and we can crack on with building other buildings now. There's still a couple of big projects that I want to do, like I want to build walls separating the forest onto the mountain, and then like another big wall on this side, so we've got a little bit of protection from the elements. But I feel like this whole area is looking a bit bare with buildings. Obviously we've got the tower and we've got this small building that came out of nowhere, but I want to make like sort of like a big house where we would essentially be living. I really want to build a house that overhangs onto the edge of the cliff. I feel like that will look really nice, but I don't quite know how I'm going to manage to do that, how I'm going to calculate it. I also feel like I need to repopulate the livestock in this area. I'm thinking of turning like this area here into a cow farm and maybe a pig farm, because one, I need to get enchants on my tools because everything is taking a double the amount of time it should be, and two, it just looks nice as well. So I think I'm going to crack on with that. I'm going to get some cows just so we can start breeding them and bringing this whole area back to life, with real life. Just going to make a small temporary pen so that we can store the animals that we bring over in, and I don't have to fuss around with it once I get over here with the product. I've literally been scouring the area for like 15 minutes. I've not seen a single cow whatsoever, not one. In fact, all I've seen is one sheep and just a bunch of dogs. So I don't know what I'm going to do about that situation. There's the sheep. I'm not going to kill him because it seems to be that he's the only available livestock around. The plan of action for me now is I'm going to wait until it's night, sleep the day away. I'm actually going to go and explore a little bit in that direction because we might find a village, we might find some cool things, and I also do want to try and source some dark oak. I've managed to find myself some premium cows, so the only issue that we now face is getting them back. That's going to be the struggle. There's 3 of them. That'll be ideal for me. Maybe if I go in F5 it might be a little bit easier. I want to stay away from this snow. Come on boys, we're nearly there. Don't give up on me now. We're so close. We've done it. We've successfully got them back. So that's step 1. Getting the cow farm, getting the cows in the pen. So that will give us a source of leather to make books. But of course we need paper. And to get paper we need sugarcane. But the problem is, it doesn't seem like there's any sugarcane. anywhere near me. Aha! I found some sugarcane. Although it's only 6 sugarcane, we can multiply that quite fast. We'll just let it farm up and grow away in the background while we do other things. And if you have made it this far in the video, comment down below sugarcane so I know you made it this far. I'm just going to temporarily set up a sugarcane farm over here. It's not going to look pretty, but it is only temporary. Okay, just a word of warning, if you can hear in the background, my daughter's on a mad one at the moment. She's like 4 months old, so she's really exercising her vocal cords right now. But anyways, I'm going to be building the cow pen. It's not going to be anything too extravagant. It's just going to be a shape which will fit the contour of this area here. I'm going to be using spruce and slabs on top, just something like that, so they can't jump on it, they can't escape, and you should still be able to see it at sort of like head height, or if you're 1 block above it, that sort of thing. So I'm going to crack on, just make a random shape and literally just a basic little entrance. It's not going to be too extravagant because it's just for the cows. So I'm going to crack on and get that done. She's really going for it at the moment. I'm going to crack on and get that done, and I'll give you an update once I've sort of got the outline finished. Okay, that's the cow pen completed, so we can tick that one off. And we still got plenty of space here to build another building, but I need to focus my attention on this area down here. Like I said, I want to build that house on the edge of the cliff. I need to build some sort of pathway linking each building up so it flows and looks nice, and do something with the terrain because it's just empty grass, which is not very aesthetic at all. So I need to take a minute and get some inspiration how I'm going to build this house on the cliff. Once I've got a decent enough idea, I'm going to come back to you guys and update you and see what we're going to do from there. Okay, so I've got sort of a plan of how I'm going to map this out. I'm going to build like a nice house, and the balcony area is going to overhang the edge of the cliff. And I'm going to somehow sort of integrate the mine inside of the house as well. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the foundations laid out, like all the logs in place, that sort of thing, and I'll come back to you with an update once I've got all that sorted. Right, I've mapped out some sort of shell for this building. I literally just made it up as I went along, but what I'm thinking is this can be the entrance area going in to the actual house here. We'll have 2 sections. This can be for something, maybe the entrance to the mine. This could be like a storage area, and we can have maybe a ladder going up for something else as well. But the idea is we have the main overhanging balcony area through here. Obviously, there's still a lot of work that needs to be done to this. What I'm thinking is I want to use stripped spruce or oak as like the actual wall design. I'm going to go get a bit of an oak log and see what it looks like next to the spruce. Okay, my take on this is going to be using stripped oak instead of spruce because it's a bit brighter, and if you have 2 dark colours next to each other, it doesn't really blend that well. But we do have a small issue. You may notice that I'm using an iron axe. That is because my diamond axe is broke and I have run out of diamonds. So that means I've officially got 2 things that I need to do before we can finish the building of this house. I need to get lots of oak logs and I need to get diamonds. I'm going to quickly breed up the cows so they can have babies in the background, and extend and harvest the sugarcane farm, because although we have done quite a lot, to be honest, we're not even halfway through the challenge yet, and I desperately need to get diamond enchanted tools if I want to crack on with even bigger projects that I have in mind. But firstly, I'm going to go down into the mines. I'm going to get some diamonds. I'm not going to bore you with me collecting diamonds because you've seen all of that before. So I'll come back up and I've got a few diamonds. I don't need to get extreme amounts. And maybe while I'm down there, I can get obsidian so we can make the enchantment table in the future. Let's get down into the mines and I will see you guys when I've returned to the surface with everything that we need. I have emerged from the mine. after a somewhat successful mining trip, I've managed to get myself a brand new diamond pickaxe, brand new diamond axe, and 8 spare diamonds. But we also have 6 obsidian, meaning we can now make an enchantment table. And just for now, I'm going to place the enchantment table in here and get some basic enchants on our tools. We got efficiency 1 on the diamond pickaxe, and on the axe, efficiency 1. I'll just go for the cheap enchants because there's no chance we're getting anything decent on the bigger ones. Should speed things up relatively good for us. But I did get busy and I've got plenty of oak log, so we can start finishing off the house now as well. Just gonna sort of trial run and see what it would be looking like with the stripped oak log. Yeah, I think that's looking really nice, to be honest. Obviously, there'll be some windows in here. It's not gonna just be stripped oak log all the way around. But I'm gonna go away and fill in all the walls and make some windows and that sort of thing. Once I've done that, I'll come back to you with an update and then we can work on the roof. This is the main sort of idea that I'm going for with this house here. As you can see, I've used lots of stripped oak logs for the features of the wall, and I've actually done the flooring out of stone brick because you can't go wrong with stone brick. And what I'm feeling here, down here, it can lead into the mine area, so we can get rid of the hole in the ground over here, and this will lead up into the balcony area. But what we got to do now, and for me, it's a very tedious and difficult process, is putting a roof on this building. What I'm thinking is I want sort of like a curved, steep roof going up and down like that here. But again, this is going to take me a while because I'm not very good at this. I'll come back to you when I've done this roof here, so you can see that the idea that I'm going for, and I'll tell you what I'm feeling with these areas here afterwards. Okay, so an update for you all. It's taken me way too long, but I've come up with this roof design here, which I quite like. The only issue that I'm facing in now is that I don't like the spruce, so I'm going to have to go on a mission to find some dark oak logs, and I suspect that there is some in this forest area over here, so we're going to have to take ourselves a journey over there. I've had to travel a lot further than I was hoping. You can't even see where our base is. That's where our base is, and it's very pixelated. That's how far we went. We found some more mossy cobblestone, which I will take back with me. It's very good for texturing buildings. But let's not forget what we came here for, and that is dark oak, which I believe this isn't even dark oak. Great. However, I have found this cool looking structure here. It's got a chest in it. Nothing useful at all, but we'll take the wheat and the coal. See some red leaf trees in the background, and from my experience, these can be dark oak, but I'm not getting my hopes up. Oh, and it is. Thank God, because it's night time as well. We'll take some of the saplings back with us. Get a couple more just for safe measure, and we can head back home. I'm gonna kill these cows while I'm here just for extra leather. Okay, that may have taken a bit longer than we expected. Ow, I'm being trident. I need to get out of here quick. What I was saying is, we got 30 saplings, nearly a full stack, and lots of texturing blocks as well. So it's been quite useful. But I'll meet you guys back at the base once I've finished the roof, and we can move on. Ladies and gentlemen, I have finished the roof, finally. And I really like it. I don't know what your guys' opinion's going to be, but I like the shape, and I like the diversity of all different roofs. If you're wondering why there's a little gap there, I'll show you exactly why now. I've built like a window way, which I'm going to have to fill up with glass, and I can build sort of like a platform up here where we can access as well. But I've put most of the glass in place inside the building, and the same with down here. This is going to be leading down into the mining area, but there's still quite a lot of work we've got to do to the interior, and I need to get this balcony area sorted. I haven't quite figured out what shape I'm going to go with and how I'm going to build it, so that needs to be addressed relatively quickly. But I did want to give you a quick update on the cow situation. We've got lots of cows in here ready to be slaughtered. I want to give them a few more rounds of feeding so we've got a nice population, and then we can get hopefully a full set of bookshelves, which we can get maximum enchants, get fortune, get efficiency, unbreaking, all that sort of thing. The sugarcane is growing away nicely, and there's one final thing I want to show you. I finally managed to fill up the carrot farm area, so we've got a nice gradient of wheat. So we've got yellow, green, and then yellow, instead of just being 3 platforms of wheat. But if we look at it from a higher elevation, for day 58 we've made some good progress, I feel. We've got all the farming area, we've got 3 buildings. Obviously I want to be putting a couple more buildings in and around the area. I need to make a pathway connecting all the buildings and all the farms. And also I want to start building the wall soon, but I haven't quite finalised the design for the wall that I want to do yet. I like the design of this, but I just don't know how the angles are going to work and the elevation, but I'm sure I'll be able to figure something out, or watch YouTube videos and not steal someone's idea but use it as inspiration. But first and foremost, what I want to do is I want to connect this up into the mine, just so we have the layout and the shape sorted. Just calculated it's around 9 blocks away. Hopefully I've got that right. There we go. We found the connection. It's a little bit of a walk, but not too far. And so now we can finally cover up this hole. So I've just been thinking what to do with the balcony, and I wanted it to be huge, massive and grand, but at the end of the day it's just a balcony, and what balconies do you know that are like massive and grand? I'm thinking if we just go out a few blocks using spruce for the actual centre, and then we could use dark oak slabs around the edge of it, just like this. We'll remove these fence posts because they don't look good there at all. Something like this, and if we look underneath, we can put some sort of like support beams in underneath as well. But I do need to fix up this bit here. Okay, now I've filled that in with the correct blocks. We've got just sort of this gap here, but you won't be able to see that, so we'll ignore it. I've used fence posts as the supporting beams here. I don't know if it looks great or not, but really I haven't got many options. I don't think it looks bad. At the end of the day it is only the support beams. I need to start filling in some of these gaps as well, making it look a bit more aesthetic. I've added in some fence posts here near the entrance as well. We've put like a barrel, go get some barrels and some other decorating bits so we can start adding some decorations to the place. But if we put one barrel here and one here, maybe a trapdoor like so, would that look better down like that? Got some phantoms after me now. I absolutely hate these guys. Right, I'm going to sleep the night away. We can carry on decorating tomorrow, because these guys are just a nuisance. Great. I'll tell you what, we'll move the bed inside the house. That'll make my life a lot easier. Yeah, take that. It's not so nice, is it? But as I was saying, if we use trapdoors, that gives it quite a nice look, to be fair. I quite like that. Maybe something like this with a fence post. We could do it on this side as well. Nice. And then place a lantern on either side. No, I think that looks quite nice, you know. I like that. And over here, put small fence posts down with a stone brick wall, like so. And then the same for this side. Perfect. I think it'll look better without it on that side. Just placed some trapdoors over the windows, and I think it looks quite cool, like this. We can have our window flap here, you know, when it gets stormy, you put this down to protect us from the climate. I think that looks quite nice like that. Maybe something like that. Yeah, I'm quite liking the like of that actually. And can I place one of these on there? I can. Perfect. Get rid of the torches and put more lanterns on either side, just to brighten things up a bit. Anyway, back to the task at hand here. I need to finish building this balcony. I use a stone brick wall like so. Maybe add in a couple fences on either side and some slabs just like that. I think that looks quite nice, to be fair. I'm quite happy with that. And if we put a lantern here and a lantern there to give it some nice lighting. I can't forget to decorate this side of the building as well. I realised that when I was doing the 100 days on the island, I forgot to decorate the back of some of the buildings. I think this is shaping up quite nicely, to be honest. Obviously there's a few finishing touches inside that I need to do. I need to segregate each area. I need to turn this into like a chest room, turn that into a nice little room, finish off the path to the mine, make it look nice and neat. But we've added another new building, a nice big building to the area, and we can add some like flowers and grass and that sort of thing around here. And obviously we've got to have pathways to connect up all the areas. I've done a little bit of off-camera mining, obviously down in the mine. What I've done was I went down to the skulk area and took my diamond hoe and just got as much XP as possible. I've managed to get up to level 33 because now I want to build a full enchantment setup. That means we got at least 2 level 30 enchants we can put on some tools. I've already got 3 bookshelves, 2 books. I've got loads of paper now as well. But that does unfortunately mean I'm going to have to slaughter some of our beloved cows. But we should have more than enough to get 12 bookshelves, which can make us a full enchantment setup, I think. After that unfortunate massacre, we've got 53 leather and nearly 2 stacks of uncooked beef, which is going to be very useful. But let's see how many books I can make from what I've got in my inventory. 26 books. I need some more paper. Sugarcane. Okay, now we've got 52 books, and that means we can make 9 bookshelves. Oh, we need more wood. I was thinking that's not a lot of bookshelves there. And now that's more like it. We can make 17. We only need to make 12. Perfect. And we still got 16 books left over, which we can enchant. Gonna use my last 3 diamonds on a fresh diamond pickaxe. Hopefully we can get a fortune on, so it makes everything 10 times quicker. And just temporarily, I'm gonna set up the enchantment table around here. And I think that should give us full level 30 enchants. Efficiency 4. Come on. Hopefully, if we can get fortune with this as well, this is going to be a great pickaxe. Fortune 2, efficiency 4. I'm more than happy with that. That's very good. We need to get unbreaking on a book, and we can just plonk that on an anvil. What about the axe? Efficiency 4. I'm not going to waste a level 30 enchant on the axe. Maybe if we do the chest plate, unbreaking 3. Surely, oh, I don't want to waste that. We'll do the axe. Unless we put a book in, see what we get from a book. Knockback 2. That's not great at all. We'll just do level 1 on the axe. Or what can we get with the leggings? Fire protection. That's not that great. Yeah, we'll just do the axe level 1 and get a fresh enchant on the chest plate. Let's give us efficiency 2 as well. That's quite good. Protection 3. That's more like it. I'm happy with that. But now, at least we've got an efficiency 4, fortune 2 diamond pickaxe. So when we go mining, it's going to make everything so much quicker. But I think what we need to do next is get some order in this house. I need to set up the chest storage area. I need to finish up the mine area. So I'm going to crack on and get this done. Gonna put some like walls in just to see the sort of simple design that we have, and I'll come back to you before we actually set up any chests or anything. Okay, so before I reveal this, it might look a bit strange to the average person's eye, but for some reason I quite like it. What I have done is I've created like an upper platform area here where we can look over down into our own base, but through here there's just going to be a little bit of space for some things. So I'll put in just a couple of decorative things, but we can go up. For some reason this guy's moved in. Now he's on the roof. But anyways, back to the task at hand. We've got some space here to put some chests and other things. We can put the bed here as well. Maybe I might make a dedicated chest house because there isn't a lot of space in this place, but mainly there's just going to be some decorative items around here just to make it look nice. But yeah, like once I've put a few decorations down, like a couple barrels, a couple chests, a couple furnaces, all that sort of thing, the house will be pretty much done, and it would just be focusing on the mining area, which isn't going to be too much work really. It's just making the tunnel look nice and just not a bunch of dirt. But yeah, if we just do things like this, place a couple chests up here on some slabs, maybe stick a barrel in there like so, put a slab underneath. See, that gives it a nice little ambient peaceful vibe. And we could just stick in a stone brick wall for like a support beam. Nothing too major, nothing too extravagant. And if we just spruce the place up with a couple trapdoors around, not on that angle, you can even place a trapdoor like so, or use a dark oak trapdoor instead. Yeah, that looks a bit better. And then just plonk the bed here. We've got somewhere nice to sleep now. This guy's fully moved in. You're lucky I don't kill you like I did to your llamas. But yeah, I like the upper area of this place now. I think that's quite nice. I think that's what 90% of Minecraft is all about. It's just placing random things and seeing if they look good. But this area, I'm happy to say, is complete now. The balcony is complete. It's just nothing major. It's just a nice balcony we can take in the scenery around and appreciate the beauty of this world. Mate, what are you doing up there? Why are you up there? But I guess what I really need to sort out now is the inside of this tower, because look at it. It's really not looking pleasing at all. I'm going to start by just tearing down all the stairs and slabs I've got in here at the moment and starting from fresh. Right, now we have a clean slate we can work with. I'm thinking just using slabs as a staircase going all the way up, like a spiral staircase. Just something like this. And maybe on this level we can make sort of a flooring where we can just add in a couple things as well, just purely for aesthetic, for no practical reason other than making it look nice. I'm going to get some more stone brick so I can make some slabs. And what we can also do whilst we're here is use some of the texturing blocks I picked up from over the seas to finish off texturing the upper level of the tower. But as I was saying, we can just use some stone brick to lay out a flooring for the midsection. Got to work out where we're going to bump heads. Here, this needs to go. Just like so, I guess. And do a similar thing that we done in our main house. And just use that as a fence barrier. Look at that. See? These little additions make things look 10 times better. And that, I'm happy to say the tower is finished now. The only things that I'll do is just add in a couple trapdoors, just randomly, like so. Bang, I'm happy with that. Very happy, actually. I've added in a couple lanterns as well underneath the stairs to light the tower up a little bit. The only thing that we should do now is put down some decent flooring. Surprisingly, I'm going to be going with dark oak slabs once again. And bang, just like that. I'm happy with that. One thing we forgot to do is add in some more texture blocks. I'm going to quickly just do that. And that is now officially three buildings completed. The tower's finished, the house with the balcony's finished, and this little shack with the stairway's finished. But what I need to do is I want to create like a pathway leading from each building, joining up in the area. But I need lots of iron as well, because I need to make more lanterns. So I'm going to jump in the mine and collect as much iron as possible, even get a few more diamonds and some coal. But we've got Fortune 2 on this pickaxe, so it should make things 10 times faster now. Ladies and gentlemen, I have returned. I've got lots of iron, nearly 2 stacks, and I was mining for about half an hour for diamonds, and I only managed to find 3 diamonds, but my Fortune 2 gave me 5 diamonds. But I've decided what I'm going to be doing next is building a wall, and I'm going to be going with a wooden wall. I'm not going to be using stone brick at all, because that's just going to take way too much stone for the type of wall I want to do. But before we start the wall, I'm going to go down into our smelting area that we've got set up down here and start smelting up some of our iron. I don't know what this Enderman thinks he's doing, but I don't want to look at him. He can chill here. And I'm going to make another temporary enchantment setup down here, because I want to get unbreaking on my pickaxe. Well, that took a lot more attempts than I was hoping for. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 levels that cost us just to get unbreaking 1. Where is it? There it is. Right, we've now got ourselves an anvil and unbreaking on our pickaxe, and that's pretty much all of our levels gone. I put a feather falling 3 on the boots, which is actually quite useful because when I'm building tall things I can jump off without taking much damage. Prot 2, unbreaking 2 on the diamond leggings, and Prot 2 on the helmet. And we've also got a stack and a half of lanterns, which is going to be very good for lighting up the area without having torches just placed on the ground. But to build this wall, I'm going to be needing to get a lot of wood. All different types. I need spruce, dark oak, I need normal oak, maybe even some birch, but it's going to take a lot of tree chopping. I'm going to completely clear out my inventory, sleep the night away, and literally get as much wood as possible. If I have to chop down this whole forest, I'm going to do it. As you can see, nearly half of the forest is gone, but I've got more than enough wood now for us to make this wall. What I'm hoping, the wall can come, it can start like around here, make its way up around the side of the mountain, not all the way up, and then just the same over here, starting from like here and making its way down there. Because in real life, if you was building a base against the mountain, you wouldn't put a wall defending the mountain, because most people aren't going to climb over the mountain to attack, just your weak areas. And this here is the design of the wall that I'm going to be going for. Just using all different types of logs and then stripping them, giving it like a nice colour gradient, doing it on angles as well, but that way we can go up and still be able to pull off a nice looking wall. So I am going to bless you guys with a lovely time lapse for this, because I doubt people are going to want to sit here for 45 minutes watching me place, strip and jump off logs. But anyways, enjoy the time lapse, and I will see you when the wall is done. Okay, I have finished the wall. As you can see, it extends all the way from there up to the mountain, and the same down here as well. I may extend it going up above the top of the mountain in the future, but for now I'm quite comfortable with it being like that. I'm thinking what I want to build next is some sort of castle looking building on this level here, and then maybe something in the side of this mountain here, like a mountain base going inside of the mountain. Again, I'm going to need to get some inspiration, some thoughts, and process how I'm going to do this. Once I've got a couple of ideas of the layout and the shape, we can start cracking on with the castle building here. This is the area I want to be building the sort of the mini castle in, which does unfortunately mean I'm going to have to do some more terraforming. Not a lot though, so it ain't going to take me long, and I've got enchanted tools this time. I'm just going to have to clear out this area here. Once I've cleared it out, I'll come back to you and we can sort of figure out the sort of shape we're going to go for. I've decided I'm literally just going to freestyle the whole thing and just go with the flow and see where it takes me. But anyway, I'll clear this out and I'll join you when that's done. Ladies and gentlemen, I have done more than just terraforming. Let me join you up in the Watchtower just so we can all get a good view of what I've done so far. Okay, it turns out you can't really see very well from up there, but before you freak out, this is just a very, very rough draft. The idea is I'm going to have a big tower there and another big tower here and sort of like a castle area in amongst it. Obviously right now it looks extremely ugly because it is nowhere near finished. I'm going to be adding in like big grand windows here, a similar sort of style of these watchtowers to these up here as well. But once again, I've got my work cut out ahead of me. I may even integrate some of it in towards this mountain area here, and I'm going to need lots of different texturing blocks for the walls, because just looking at it with stone bricks, it looks horrific. I'm going to need stone, I'm going to need deep slate, mossy stone, cobblestone, all that sort of thing. So I'm going to have to really get cracking with this, get all the materials I need, and get this finished. But once I've got all the materials that I feel like I'm comfortable with, you'll see a lovely time lapse of me finishing off this castle. I know it's back-to-back time lapses within the space of 5 minutes. It's your lucky day, guys. But I'm going to crack on and enjoy the time lapse. Well, that was a waste of like, I don't know how long that was, 3-4 days. I tore it all down. I built the watchtower here, put the roof on it, and I looked at it and I thought, I don't like any of this. I thought instead of carry on even longer trying to make something look nice, which it's not going to look nice, that whole layout and design was absolutely awful. I don't even know what was going through my head. So I've decided I'm not building a castle after all of that, because I'm not good at building castles that I've just discovered. I'm going to tear the rest of this down, and I'm probably just going to build a big house, a big old house. Again, that is the beauty of Minecraft. You build things and you don't like them, so you tear them all down again. So that's all that cleared out, and the verdict is in. I am going to build just a big old house on this cliff here, because I'm fairly decent at building a house. I'm not a good builder, I'll say that with an open heart, but I am a terrible builder of castles, and I now have discovered that. Nice. I've finished building the shell of the house that we're going to be building. So the idea that I'm going for is more simplistic than, say, that building down there with the roof, essentially. I want to be building just a simple roof. This area here is going to be the entranceway, and I'm going to build sort of like a balcony area above the entrance. But instead of enjoying a time-lapse of me building the castle, you get to enjoy a time-lapse of me building this magnificent house. So enjoy, and I will catch you once we finish the house. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have finally finished building the structure of the house, and I must say, it's looking pretty nice, I do believe. Definitely a nice addition to our piece of land that we've got going here. We have still got a few things that we do need to do, like we need to make an entrance way, like a path going into the actual house, and finish off the actual entranceway here, along with exterior decorations. But we do have a small issue, as you could probably hear. Underneath the floorboards, a few blocks down, I've discovered that there is a massive cave, and there is a huge nest of zombies, skeletons, endermans, the whole lot. So as you can see, the design for upstairs is pretty simple. We've got our staircase coming up, we've got all this space around here, it leads onto the balcony area as well, which I think looks pretty nice. Gives us an overlook of all of our buildings around here. But I'm thinking for the entranceway, literally something just simple, like so. We can have an open door. We welcome guests in this house, in this village. Not that we get any, but it's the thought that counts. But next on the agenda, after I finish decorating the exterior, is going to be needing to build a pathway, not just for this house, linking up our whole village here. I've still got a little bit of space that I want to fill up. Like here, I want to be able to put some sort of building there. We've got 23 days left to create, so I haven't got much time to waste. And for the decoration, it's not going to be anything major. Literally just adding in some random trapdoors, maybe some more slabs, that sort of thing. Get that plonked all the way around to make it look a little bit more homely. We can even add in some stone walls going all the way up, and the signature barrels, just like so, which it brings the building to life a little bit more. And we can just texture the walls a little bit with the stone brick, so it's not all brand new looking. See that? That looks 10 times better already. And I'm happy with that. Very happy actually. But like I said, we need to figure out some sort of pathway linking all of our buildings. Something that looks natural as well. I want like a natural pathway, probably using different types of stone like gravel, cobblestone, coarse dirt, regular dirt. But I think a good place to start is just going to be digging out sort of like a random pathway, random shape. The good thing is we should have plenty of different types of stone and even coarse dirt which we can fill in for the pathway. These parts are probably going to be the easy parts to do. The difficult one, the tricky one, is going to be going uphill. I don't quite know how I'm going to manage that. Maybe sort of like a windy staircase going up using different types of stone blocks. I'm not too sure, but I want to get this area filled in first. Then we can focus on that one afterwards. But yeah, this is the idea really. It's just no real pattern to it, using all different types of blocks, making it look a natural pathway with wear and tear that you would get from over the years. Be quite similar to the one I used or made in my 100 days on the island video, but you get the gist. So I'm gonna finish off these little pathways off on this level, on that level. Once we've done that, we can figure out some sort of staircase system going up to the upper level here. Ladies and gentlemen, I've finished the pathway and it goes like so. It connects up here onto the main area down here. I've added in some lamppost. It is a lamp on top of concrete posts, so yes, lamppost, and it extends going up through this building here and re-emerges on the exit, but it also extends over to our cow farm over there. And I've made an old sort of rustic looking staircase going up towards the new house that we've just built. But looking at it from up here, I think it looks very nice indeed. But what I'm thinking is we need some small like hut, trader hut sort of vibe buildings around the area to fill up some of the space here instead of building huge massive buildings everywhere. You can have like a trader hut here, one down there, one here, just to fill in some of the space, and we may have time for another big project, maybe some sort of base going into this cliff here. But just before we do that, I want to get this forest thriving again, so I'm going to go out and plant a load of saplings so it looks more foresty-ish, and that's a new word that I've just made up. All the huts are going to be pretty much near identical. They are purely just for gap filling reasons and aesthetic feelings, but this is the design we're going for. Going to be using spruce half slabs for the roof, along with deep slate, just like pretty much, well, every other building that we've used. And I've gone with stripped oak logs as part of the wall, and then stone brick along the floor. And we're adding like a few extra features going around, fences, just to make it look a bit more pretty. But you get the gist. I'm going to go ahead and fill in some of these small gaps we got going on here with these little huts, and once that's done we can come back and hopefully we have some time to build a nice base going into the side of this cliff here. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so we have pretty much all but finished all of the huts. I showed you the design of the huts earlier, but I just wanted to update you. Obviously, I'll put the floor in as dark oak. I've added in a barrel and a couple slabs with a lantern just to make it feel a little bit more homely. But I've also connected up the path to each hut. So this one over here is literally the same design. Barrel again, you get the gist. But these are just for aesthetics. And you will notice I have done one more up here, which is a little bit more big, a little bit more grand. Let me go and give you a quick tour of that one. So this one, the function of it is going to be an imaginary bar. You can see we've got the trapdoors with the fence posts on this side. This is where you'll be coming to collect your drinks after a hard day mining and fighting creepers and skeletons, whatever people do in a Minecraft life. And this here is the entranceway. Let me finish off the final touches of adding in the dark oak logs. But you come in, this is where the waiter will be, or the barman. He's got his barrel full of all his alcohol or mead, whatever ancient, prehistoric, medieval alcohol they would serve. But yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. I'm quickly just going to add in a barrel on each side, along with a stone brick wall to give the entrance a little bit more of a, I don't know, makes it look a little bit better. But we have only got 19 days left of this 100 days to get everything else sorted, finished and finalised. Obviously the final big main project that I've mentioned is I want to build a base. What was that? Is that a raid? Is that pillagers? What are you doing in my base? Right, let me get back to the task at hand and I'll deal with you afterwards. The final project is I want to build a base going into the side of this cliff face over here. I'm going to have to deal with these guys. How much damage do they do? Not a lot. Where are the rest of them? I can hear them. This is the purpose of a wall. And clearly the wall hasn't worked. There they are. I did not invite you to my village. Right. That's them dealt with. One thing that I've just remembered that we do need to complete is the mining entrance area. I'm thinking something simple. I'm just going to place dark oak slabs going through, and then probably, you could guess it, stone brick as the wall. If you couldn't already tell, my favourite wood types to use is dark oak and definitely spruce. I just feel like there's so many opportunities for different combos with those materials. I don't want to be that guy that begs, but if you have made it this far into the video, be sure to leave me a like and subscribe. Got myself plenty of stone brick now, so we can go on and finish the walls to the mining area, and then it's safe to say we're ready to start working on the cliff base up there. I have got a few ideas in mind, but I do have to admit I've taken inspiration from other people. I don't have their names because I've just seen it on Google, but I'm thinking like if we make it all flat on the cliff face and then a circular big wooden area, and we could put glass for the window obviously, and then just like a nice cozy base on the inside. But obviously guys, if you do have any ideas of what I should do next, like 100 days wise, comment down below. I'm thinking 100 days underground, 100 days on an island part 2. I'm open to hear you. Couldn't get my words out there. I'm open to hearing what you guys would like to see. At the end of the day, I am making content for you guys to enjoy, so feel free to comment down any ideas that you've got below. I should have focused on getting a high enchanted pickaxe early on. It would have saved me so much time. Right, let's get the rest of these blocks filled in. And do you know what? While I'm here, I'm going to put a nice dark oak roof on it. And there we go. Let me quickly put these oaks in and strip them. It's the closest I'm getting to stripping anything. But anyway, we finished the mining area, and I think it's got quite a nice ambience to it. Let's move these lanterns. Maybe we could put a barrel and then put the lantern on top like that, and then the same here. Get rid of this torch. Bang. I think that looks quite nice. Yep, I'm definitely happy with that. So now that means we can get started with the Cliffside base. Cliffside. I can't talk today. I'm really struggling to talk. The Cliffside base. I've built up a little bit, so I got myself a better view of the actual cliff here. So the idea is we're going to have to flatten out, like level out the face of this cliff here, so we've got a flat surface to build upon. And once that is done, I think the whole area is going to look absolutely lovely. But obviously we've got some terraforming to do again, so I'm going to get this terraformed, flattened out, and I'll come back to you guys when that's done, and I'll talk you through what the next steps are. Ladies and gentlemen, I've made some nice progress on the Cliffside base. As you can see, I've got a rounded shape ready to be mined out, and I've also got an entrance way, sort of like a old-fashioned mine entrance. The plan here is I'm going to shave in the cliffside, dig it all out, and have glass panes 1 block back from the actual frame here, and this area here will be linking up to the actual area that's going to be inside this cave here. But that is only step one of many steps of getting this base ready. So without any further delay, I'm going to do what needs to be done. I'm going to carve out a huge hole in this area here and link it up, probably with a staircase here. Once I've carved out this massive hole, I should have some sort of idea of how I'm going to lay things out in the actual base, and I'll come back to you with an update before I start cracking on with building the interior design. Okay, so this is where we are at. I've dug in a temporary staircase area, which leads into not a massive area, but a nice sized area we got here. So this is going to be the actual main area of the building. Up here is probably going to be just some sort of decoration. I've not decided on what yet, but you get the gist of the layout. It's not going to be massive, it's just going to be a nice cozy base inside of the cliff. Now I'm thinking that we keep the wood theme and not use any stone brick for a change. For the walls, I'm literally just going to be using spruce wood. I feel like that is going to give it quite a nice cozy touch. And maybe we can separate this. Oh no, I've done this wrong. The spruce goes here, like so, and that gives it a nice feature, I think. This is the design that I'm going to be going for. I've added in more of these support beams, and we can add in things like here, like barrels and chests, that sort of thing. But I don't quite know what I'm going to be doing for the decorative side of things up here. We could use like bookshelves, but then again, that is quite a lot of hassle. Let me go and get some bookshelves, and we'll see what that looks like. We'll just implement that and see if it looks any good at all. Because if it looks nice, it looks aesthetically I really cannot talk today, and it's starting to bug me now. If it looks aesthetically pleasing, then it's going to be worth the hassle. I feel like 40% of this episode is just me struggling to talk. Because realistically, there's not going to be any more use of this enchantment table in this 100 days. But if you guys did want me to continue to 200 days, then we would have to get some more. We've got 15 bookshelves. I doubt that's going to be enough. But it's enough to see what it's going to look like. If it looks good, then we're going to have to slaughter more cows. I'm thinking instead of filling it all with bookshelves, maybe if we just fill this in with some dark oak, see what that looks like. Do you know what? Although it looks a little bit strange using spruce to dark oak, I quite like the look of this. I'm quite feeling the vibe on this one. Fortunately, we can't get rid of this ugly stone here because it's going to make gaps on the outside, but we can just cover them with trapdoors like that, and that does the trick. But what I need to do now is I need to replace the roof and the flooring and then decorate the interior. Now, I've decided not to do a huge project for this. That gives us time to do another project. Somehow, I need to figure something out because we're going to have around 15 days left, maybe probably 14 days left after we've finished it all. But I'm going to replace the flooring and the ceiling. Once that's done, I'll come back to you and we can see what it's looking like and start decorating the interior. Okay then, ladies and gentlemen, I have finished the interior. All we have to do now is decorate. Unfortunately, I had to get rid of a lot of the trapdoors because the glass panes just weren't going in. So we're going to have to ignore the stone around the edge here. But I think we can bypass that if you guys would be so kind to let me. So for the decoration, I'm just going to go with some of my signature moves here and adding in some stone brick walls along with some normal fences just in the corners. I think it gives it a nice little touch. And I'm thinking we can just add some barrels randomly around the area, just like so. Maybe even add some more fences in, just some random features. I think they look quite nice. Maybe over here we can add a barrel in, no surprise, a chest above it like that, and then maybe another barrel. Does that look odd? Or we could do the same. I'm not too sure, that might look a bit odd. I've just decided to put a barrel in with some small stone brick wall, but that being said, I'm happy with how this is looking inside. Again, it's got no practical use to it, along with 90% of the other buildings here, but it looks nice, so I'm happy with it. For the exterior, I'm just going to add some buttons on each one of these logs here, and we can even stick a couple barrels on either side, maybe a couple fence posts, just like that. But again, I think this looks very nice. Only one thing to do now is get a look at it from a distance. Sort of built up, and I definitely do like the look of this building here. I think this looks very nice actually. But we've got 15 days left, and that's a lot of days left to do something, but I don't quite know what I want to do yet. Well, with that all being done and completed up there, looking nice, I'm struggling of what to do now. I've got 15 days left. I know that I need to get some bones and kill some skeletons to make the area look nice, so I can bone meal the grass and get some flowers going, that sort of thing. So maybe that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to kill some skeletons, get as many bones as possible, so we can start decorating the grassy areas. Which I'll guarantee I'll find every mob apart from skeletons. There's creepers, spiders, see zombies. There's about 5 creepers. It's always the same. In the previous 100 days on the island, I needed spiders, but there was none around. Now I need skeletons. There's not going to be any around. Well, it looks like I'm not getting any skeletons today. Let me check my chest and see if I've got any bones around. Surely I've got some left. Great, we've got 3 bones. And that's going to give us how many bone meal? I think 12? No, 9. 9 bone meal. It's better than no bone meal though. This area here can do with a spruce up. Just like this. And maybe one here. Nice. Doesn't need too much, just a little bit. I've just had a thought. I'm going to turn this area here into like a small artificial pond somehow. I don't know how it's going to go, but I'm going to try it. If we just dig out an area around the infinite water source, which we've already got here, I think that'll make things quite a bit easier. So it's not going to be massive, literally just something a little bit like this. And if we just start filling it with water, and then we can decorate the edges, put some fences in so we don't fall and drown in the water. And I think if we get rid of these blocks here, we should have a nicely flowing pond. Lovely. That's a nice little touch. Maybe we can extend it a little bit out this way, just like that. And I think that looks quite nice. We can just start adding in some fences and things. And there, I think that gives it a nice peaceful touch to the area. We can add in a couple lanterns just to brighten the place up at night time. Yeah, very nice. I like that. I've just been looking around trying to think of nice creative ideas of things to do. And I've noticed this area here behind the staircase house. Very weird name for a house is a staircase house, but that's literally what it is. So this space here, it does look very empty. So I think I'm going to fill the area with another cozy little building. And surprisingly, I'm going to be sticking to the theme of spruce and dark oak logs. It's not going to be anything huge, but I just want an area, this space here, to be filled up a little bit because it feels a bit empty. I'm going to keep it to the traditional odd number width. I'm going to be going 7 blocks in width and then go back probably 5 blocks and then 7 this way. I'm going to be building up a little bit higher than the other buildings, probably around 6 to 7 blocks tall. Do these guys keep spawning more frequently later on, the more days you go on? Because I feel like they're spawning every night at this point. I'm trying to sleep. Leave me alone. Bye with you, and bye with you. Now let me sleep. Right, now we can get back to what we was doing. The phantoms are probably the worst thing that they've ever added to Minecraft. And in terms of how far back we are going to extend the building, I haven't quite thought that bit out yet. If I just keep it to the theme of 7 blocks, I think that'll make things easier. And we have run out of spruce wood, so I'm going to have to go and chop more trees down, and then we can get this finished. Right, so we've now got all of the framing up for the actual building. We just need to clear out all of this dirt here, so we've got a nice open space to work with. And you know what, I think I might extend this going in to underground in this actual mound of dirt here. And if we've got time, maybe even link it up to this house here. I don't see why we won't have time because we've got 13 days left. But anyway, let's stop wasting time. Start digging out this area here so we can get things finalised and in place. Just finish off the last bits of this pillar here. And now we have got our frame and our space to work with. But what I'm going to do first and foremost is I'm going to actually conquer the roof first, because that's the thing that I struggle with a lot of the time. I want to get that out of the way and we can actually have fun doing the interior. And for the roof, I'm going to be going for something a tad bit different to the other styles that we got going on. It's hard to explain, but you will see in a minute what exactly I mean. Okay, so it is a little bit dark, but I think you can just about make out what it looks like. So this is the roof style I'm going to be going for. A nice tall roof. I'm going to go ahead and get... Oh, skeleton. I was looking for one of you earlier. Now there's two of you. No, they're destroying me. They're no, they're teaming up on me. This is not fair. Oh my god. Oh my god, imagine if I died there. How embarrassing would that have been? Dying on day 87 to two skeletons. Maybe let's light this bit up over here. Plonk that down there. Back to the task at hand. But yeah, what I was going to say is I'm going to get this roof all sorted and lined up, looking ready and fresh. And once I've done that, we can come back and we can get the inside sorted, get all of the exterior walls sorted, and begin the fun stuff. Right, I know I said I was going to get the roof sorted and come back to you, but there's more pillagers in my base. Why are they here? It sounds like... Oh my god. They're coming for me. They're not happy. Why? Why are you guys here? Can you just leave me alone? Right, I'm going to have to go out there and face these guys. Okay. Final one. Leave my base. Do not come back. Now we can start the roof. Finally. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are on day 89 and I have completed the roof. And this is what it's looking like. I've used stone brick filler as the bit behind the actual roof, and I've gone with polished deep slate blocks as the actual roof instead of using deep slate bricks. But I've done a similar sort of design on the other sides, well, this side anyway. But that now means we are ready to work on the interior of the building. So the interior itself is very, very big and spacious. I think this building, out of all of the buildings, is probably the biggest in terms of, well, size really. We could technically squeeze 3 different floors in here. Now, I haven't quite figured out what I want to be doing with the interior just yet, but we have got plenty and plenty of space to do whatever we want really. I have officially designed the entranceway for the building, and I'm thinking it looks quite nice. Let me get a closer look. I can describe to you what we've actually placed down. So I've used a mixture of all types and sorts of things really. I've put barrels along the bottom along with dark oak signs, using stone brick wall with a dark oak fence and then a normal stone brick wall as the support beams, and I've used a mixture of slabs and trapdoors just to give it a little bit more extra texturing. But I think that's a nice idea for how it's going to go inside. I want the downstairs area to be really big and grand, and I'm thinking we just literally make it a one-floored building but with high ceilings, sort of like Victorian. But I need to get the rest of the walls filled in, and I'm going to be using stripped oak logs for the walls to keep up the theme with the buildings going on around the area. I think it adds quite a nice contrast in colour, going from dark to lighter materials. So, ladies and gentlemen, I have finished the walls and I've also put the ceiling in as well. The areas where there is no wood is where there's going to be windows, or glass panes shall I say. I've made them quite big and open because the back walls on this side wall here is covered by dirt and there will be no natural light coming in. So the big windows are going to compensate for that. If I remember correctly, I should have plenty of glass somewhere. I can't remember where I've stored it. I think it might be in the very far away chest. And it's not up here either. So that means I don't know where it could be. Looks like we're going to have to get some more sand to make some glass. Before I do that, let me double check in these chests upstairs. No, more sand it is. I could have sworn I had like a stack of glass somewhere. Oh well. Luckily, we're not far away from sand at all. And obviously, you guys watching at home, you're probably seeing, I don't know how long the video is yet, maybe between an hour and 2 hours worth of footage. But for me, this has taken probably around like 15 hours of playing, or 20 hours even, of building all these things. And then chopping everything and editing everything. It really does take some time. But the feeling and the rewarding feeling that you get from seeing people commenting and liking it, it makes it all worth it. Got just over a stack of sand now, so that should definitely be enough. Fingers crossed. Let's place these 3 furnaces down here and get the sand cooking in the background. Okay, so I've finished putting in the glass in the building here. I've also started working on the flooring area. I've used, this zombie needs to be quiet. What I was saying is I've put oak logs in along the floor just to segregate or separate each room. And also I've put the glass in here. So let's finish off the flooring area just using stone brick slabs. If you didn't notice, I've also added in some stone brick wall amongst the oak logs here, as sort of like a support beam. What do we think of this design here as a hanging lamp? A stone brick wall with a fence post and just a lamp. I think it looks quite good. I'm going to add one in the middle of this room here, probably one here as well, just to keep it nice and lit from above. And yeah, I think that's fairly lit well. I think it looks quite nice. And now for the interior decoration. I'm just thinking if we add some stairs on each corner, like so, and then maybe some trapdoors going up like that, and then just the same for the ceiling. What's that looking like? I think that's quite a nice feature. And if we put the old classic barrel against it, then the same for this side here. Nice. Looks very nice indeed. Maybe we can add in some trapdoors serving as like a desk area, just like that. Maybe not all the way across, like that instead. Or if we do this, I think that's a bit more fitting. We can add in a bookshelf on either side, plonk a lamp on, and then maybe a barrel, just like that. I've made sort of like a desk chair. It's not usable, but it looks quite nice. Literally just a staircase and a few trapdoors, but I quite like the look of that. And then a nice little sofa area we can enjoy the view from. I think this building is probably about done now. We don't need to overcomplicate it. I'm going to get away with this, get away from this, because there's so many mobs underneath there, because there's a cave. But just taking a look at it from here, I think it looks really nice, you know. I quite like that. Maybe we could do with a couple of lanterns around the area. I'll go and do that now quickly. But with that now being done, we've got 9 days to spare. There's just a couple of things I want to touch up on. I want to get rid of all these torches that are just hanging around because they look ugly, and make some lampposts somehow. But for that I'm going to need to get a bit more iron. I've got 26 uncooked iron. Maybe if I go and get a few more pieces of iron ore. I know there's some up here as well, so we can make a few more lanterns. Now we've got more than enough lanterns, we can actually start making a couple nice lampposts around instead of just having all these torches scattered around everywhere. The sort of rough design that I thought of is nothing crazy. Literally just going to be something like this. Oh, here they come again. Ruining the fun for myself. I just got making me wait for the final days. I've only got 9 days left and I've got to sleep one of them away. What I was about to show you before I got rudely interrupted was this lovely little lamppost that we've made here, consisting of a deep slate wall, 2 fence posts, a slab and 2 trapdoors. Nice and simple, but very effective. I'm going to place another one just over here. Nice and easy, and it looks very nice as well. Start getting rid of all these torches just laying around. And while we're at it, we can start bone mealing the area. Get a nice little bit of greenery going on. I've even done some up here as well. Just brings the place to life a little bit more. Just start picking up all these random blocks that we've placed over time as well. Spruce up the area. I'm going with a new lamppost design for the upper areas. More like your standard lamppost that you would have in real life. Ignore all of these bits and bobs on the floor. I'm just going to let them despawn because I've got no use for any of these. Even if you do want me to carry on to 200 days, none of these items are going to be useful. I say that, but in the next 100 days if I do it, I'll probably be moaning about not having some of the things that I've just wasted. And do you know what? While we've got some spare time on our hands, we've got 8 days to burn here. I think we're going to do a little bit of adventuring. I really, really want to know what this whole temple is about here. Let's go and have a look. I haven't got much breath in me. Oh, so we can actually breathe. This is quite cool looking. This is very cool looking, actually. Let's drop down and see if there's anything cool down here. Is that it? I mean, it's quite cool, but it's not very useful, is it? Oh. There's an upstairs, I think. No. Well, at least we ticked it off the bucket list. But I can hear spiders. Maybe I'm just imagining it. Well, at least we ticked it off. No chests or anything. I would have thought there would have been some good loot in here. There's more pillagers over there. In my boat. And the cow that we pushed off earlier. And just like that, people, it is now day 99. What a journey it has been, and what a way we have come. I think it will only be fitting if we celebrate the 99 days we have survived with one final sunset. Once again, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for watching the video. And if you have made it to the end of this video, leave a comment saying lamp. But thank you and enjoy the sunset.